Hey guys, this is Naudi Aguilar at Functional Patterns, and for today I'm going to be covering a very advanced exercise with the kettlebell. It's going to be covering movement in the frontal plane, but then we're also going to be instituting some transverse rotation throughout it. Now I'm going to try and piece together this movement because it's really the culmination of a lot of different movements at once. It's really just going to be almost like a speed skater, only we're going to be involving some kind of a kettlebell swing to a clean, and we're going to be moving back and forth through this movement. So to begin with, what I want you guys just thinking about when you're doing the movement, coming from a staggered stance, because much of it's going to be coming from a staggered stance, is thinking about that when you land, you try and minimize how much the knee's going to be coming forward on the landing, because we're going to be moving right here in that frontal plane, going back and forth. So for starters, I want you guys thinking that when you land, do not let your knee shift forward in this direction. Really try decelerating with those hamstrings. The way that you do that is really how you just kind of want to hinge. Be sure that you keep your spine neutral with that, but it's really that hinge of the joint that you're going to get from that hip joint that's going to help you get efficient with those mechanics. So you're just going to really be going from one side here to the other. So you'll see I'm just kind of skipping back and forth. Almost look like if I was doing some kind of capoeira movement. Within time, what I want you guys doing is learning how to not touch the ground as you go from one side to the other. So you kind of just sequence that in. You land on the toe, roll back on the heel, land on the toe, roll back on the heel. You guys will see also that I'm getting some transverse rotation coming back and forth. So you want to get that movement down as much as possible. Really, again, focus on that hinge. If you hinge from there, that's going to set up that coil for those glutes to activate. From there, what I want you guys doing is just to help you kind of practice what you need to do in terms of the movement. What I would say, like just to start yourself off with, would be to get yourself into doing some kind of a side lunge to a kettlebell swing, going from here to here, where again you're focusing on that hinge, stepping off to the side, watching that knee doesn't get too far forward. You can even go where you're skipping kind of from back and forth. You're going here to here. Really try finding that base of efficiency, rotating that thoracic spine at the bottom. So maybe you can do a few of these repetitions to kind of sequence you into the movement, going back and forth. Once you get that going, you can focus on really just trying to practice the way that you're going to hold the positioning of your hand right here. So this is going to be a really important thing, how you rack yourself directly with the kettlebell. What I like to do is kind of just set this sucker to rest on my forearm. I keep my hand all the way here at the end of the kettlebell, and I kind of just rest it. Within time, once I get myself used to being in this position, what I like to do is actually just go here, shoot it, come back, and add this little racking right here with my hand. So I come down, come back, rack it. So I go back and forth here, get a few of those repetitions in. So you just sequence everything as much as you can, rack it here, shoot it over. Once you get it down, what we're then going to focus on is trying to go from one side here. Almost you're going to go into that speed skater, come back, rack it, boom, rack it, boom, rack it. And so within time, what we're going to also want to focus on is trying to not get our back foot to touch, like I mentioned prior. So I'll kind of demo it for you so you know what it looks like. I'm going to step off to the side here. I'm going to be looking to get that rotation. I come up. So to begin with, maybe I'll tap my foot down. As I'm doing the movement, I'm tapping my back foot. I'm hinging off of that hip. Then within time, as I get better, that foot doesn't touch the ground at all while I go through the movement. Navel's in, thoracic is extended as much as you can. Very tiring, very demanding on that nervous system. Great for developing that proprioceptive capability in all planes of motion. I'll switch sides for you guys so you know what that'll look like. On the other side, I come down, again, building that rotation. I go, set myself in, rotate the thoracic. Extremely challenging on that core, especially that anterior oblique system. That is a difficult exercise. I already got done working out today, but that's kind of a little addition to the workout that I did today. Very, very tough. It's a pretty light kettlebell. It's an 8 kilogram. I don't go too heavy with this movement. Sometimes I'll up it if I'm feeling pretty confident with my structural integrity, but if you don't, I would not recommend going anything too far above that. It's a very dynamic movement that you should focus on. Putting your mind on technique rather than how much output you're putting in terms of weight. I do hope that you guys like this video. If you did, please click like, favorite it, share it to your friends. Any help that you can give me when it comes to me putting up these videos, I work really, really hard, is greatly appreciated. You can also visit my website at functionalpatterns.com and find out how you operate functionally with your human body. Until next time, this is Naudi Aguilar, reminding you to live intentionally and not habitually. I'll see you guys next time.